What's up, guys? Chris, Legendary Mana, and it's time for the Deck Tech Spotlight. And today, I'm spotlighting a modern deck that I sort of picked up during my research. And it's a green-black Tron deck that took 13th in the most recent modern SCG Modern Open in Charlotte. And I thought it was a pretty interesting build. So I felt like I would share it. This is something I would consider playing or consider looking at to possibly playing. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First thing that I sort of see about this is it's a pretty inexpensive Tron deck. I mean, if most of you have played a Tron deck before, most of the Tron decks run in the $800-900,000 range, as you see here. But this particular one actually falls below the average, being just at $629. So if you are in Modern, this is relatively on the low curve to obtain the cards. And if you're playing in Modern, if you played Standard, you might actually have access to some of these cards already. For instance, Walking Ballista, and some of the other ones. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's break down the deck and sort of just talk about it. The creatures that are in the deck is 1 Walking Ballista, 3 Wurmcoil Engines, 1 World Breaker, and 1 Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Now, the creature part of it is pretty interesting. I would have probably thought about playing more than 1 World Breaker, but clearly he knew what he was doing in playing this because, well, he got 13th. Although, looking at it, I would almost say, why Walking Ballista? So typically in, say, Eldrazi Tron, Ballista is used to ping creatures to kill them or ping player. But Eldrazi Tron, we use Basilisk Collar, which gives a death touch, and so each 1 damage it does to creature, it destroys it. Doesn't matter how big it is. And he's not using that in this scenario, so I did find that interesting. When I go to test it and look at it, I might think about taking Walking Ballista out, or maybe a Wurmcoil and adding an additional World Breaker. Planeswalkers, carrying the 4 Karn package, which makes up the bulk of the deck. I mean, it's close to $300, and then 2 Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. This is pretty standard, typical for any Tron builds. So this is kind of going back to the root, the original Tron, the OG Tron, green Tron, straight up. So this is a green Tron deck that sort of has been adapted with a bit of black in it. So pretty typical for Ancient Stirrings, 3 Fatal Pushes, 4 Sylvan Scrying, which, these are Stirrings, and Scrying is pretty typical for most green variant of the Tron builds. And then moving forward, you also have 4 Chromatic Spheres, 4 Chromatic Stars, 4 Expedition Maps, 3 Relic of Progenitus, and 3 Oblivion Stones. So it's kind of basically bringing green Tron back with just a splash of black. In the main board, you basically see Fatal Push as one of the removal spells that come in black. Now, it's got 1 Blooming Marsh, 3 Llanowar Wastes to get you the black and green mana. Although, looking at this with Chromatic Sphere, Star, and Map. I don't know. Do you really need... I don't know if you need more than one source. Like, I think 2 Blooming Marshes could do it. Sanctum of Ugin, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think this mana base is fine, but I think to maximize it, it could be reconfigured slightly. But anyways, he's running 1 Blooming Marsh, 3 Llanowar Wastes, 1 Sanctum of Ugin, 1 Sanctum of Ugin, 2 Snow-Covered Forest, and then the 12 Tron lands. In the sideboard, 1 Ghost Quarter, 1 Snow-Covered Swamp, 2 Nature's Claim, 2 Thoughtseize, 4 Collective Brutality, which is an amazing card, 2 Seal of Primordium, sacrifice Seal of Primordium, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yeah, okay. And 3 Thragtusk. So I'm not sure the significance. It might be a design choice for the snow-covered forests. As far as just being a Tron deck, it's probably a design choice, not necessarily a necessity. Something to just kind of take note if you don't want to use. The snow-covered lands are not necessarily in this instance a requirement. Anything that they're doing here, there's nothing here that indicates that. So just one thing to note, which could take down the cost slightly. So yeah, so anyways, looking at this, it's a very interesting build. I'd be very interested to see how this performs. So we'll go ahead and let's see if we can't get some good gameplay. All right, folks, we are getting ready, and we are going to test some green-black Eldrazi Tron. So let's take a look here. We got 2 of the Tron lands with a Chromatic Sphere. I think we're pretty good. Sphere, Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, we'll keep that. I think so we're on the play. We'll go ahead and drop in a Tron land. Bring down Expedition Map. And pass the turn. So let's see, it'll be interesting. You see all kinds of weird decks on X-Mage. Ones that you wouldn't expect. Which is good, I guess, because I like seeing a lot of different things. You sort of kind of run your decks with tests, but sometimes on X-Mage, you just don't have the most skilled of players. So that can be a little unfortunate. So we're gonna go ahead and, just in case we're playing a control variant, let's go ahead and drop the sphere and then draw a card, play Ancient Stirrings, and let's grab colorless card. So we have Tower, Plant, we just need Mine, and we'll have Tron online. And we'll pass the turn. So we're gonna get up and going pretty quick here. So far, I'm actually looking at this Walking Ballista, and it's kind of actually looking good right now, considering. I know in my conversation, and they just conceded right away. Okay, so since we don't know what we're playing, we'll go ahead and just submit and play again. So Yeah, I think, you know, in that instance, in that the first draw, if we got an opportunity to play that out, Walking Ballista could have proved to be pretty great there, actually. So I'm gonna probably take back that comment in regards to taking out Walking Ballista. All right, so here we are, game 2. Hopefully we will start out pretty good and we get to actually play a game. Okay, I think we're starting out good. We got 2 Tron lands, Stirring Sphere map. Wow, we're not gonna have a problem getting our 3rd Tron land, that's for sure. Let's see, so he goes down to 6, and let's see if we get an opportunity to play. That's fine. Doesn't really matter to me. Position me all you want. He takes Ancient Stirrings. Okay, well that makes sense. Although I can draw into other things, so I don't think it really matters too much. Let's go ahead and let's see how we go here. All right. Go ahead and crack this sucker up. Draw. Play a map. So we got another mine. He's probably going to counter that. Should be fine. Pass the turn. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and, since we got its resolve, we'll crack it now. Mine, power plants. So now we need tower. And that's the turn. My guess is, since we have Tron lands, he might go ahead and Esper Charm. Destroy target enchantment, draw 2 cards. Player discards 2 cards. See, what did he choose? He chose draw 2 cards. Okay, so he's gonna draw 2 cards. Yep, that's fine. So we hit the tower. We will let's crack this down. Let's see. Okay, so we got a sphere. Let's go ahead and use the green for the sphere. Drop down. So we have Wurmcoil Engine. We can set ourselves up pretty good. We can Fatal Push the Creeping Tar Pit if he goes ahead and activates that. So he'll probably, well, he might, well, it depends, we'll see. I think he's gonna take Push, but I wouldn't doubt if he decides to take Stone. He takes the Stone. It's kind of interesting, actually. So he doesn't have mana up for Creeping Tar Pit, so there's that. Sure. Go ahead and we'll add green just in case if we have Ancient Stirrings, and we don't. So we'll pass the turn. So I'm not really sure what he's playing at the moment. It's a lot of counter magic. I'm sure we'll see a Tasigur at some point. Yeah, I guess I should have saved the sphere for the push, but that's okay. Alright. Yep. Strand. Go for it. Knock your socks off, buddy. Swing back in with that Creeping Tar Pit. Yeah. That's fine with me. No Creeping Tar Pit this time, huh, buddy? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some engine stuff going here. Wow, we just hit land after land after land, huh? So I think at this point we're going to be going to game 3. I don't really see a way around it. We just keep on getting lands. So I think that at this point we see this one through. and cut our losses on this game as we just literally just got flooded throughout. But that's okay. Why don't you just swing? I don't understand, for silly people out there, why waste people's time? If you already have lethal, just swing. There's no reason to continue to do stupid things like that. All right, so I think I'm actually good with what we got here. So I don't think I want to make any changes. All right, here we are, game 3. Let's see if we have a better showing. Ooh, okay, so we got 2 Karns in hand. Ancient Stirring, Sylvan Scrying with a map. Ooh, this one's not that great. Let's go ahead and mulligan out. It's not a very good curving hand for that matter. Okay, plant, star, plant. Okay. Well, we can make this one work. Let's go ahead and keep that. And see what our scry is. We'll be on the play, so... Okay, so mine is on top. So we'll go ahead and leave that on top. And... plant, star. Pass turn. Okay, we'll go mine. Green. Go Ancient Stirrings for green. We have mine, plant. Oh, mine, plant. Oh, tower. There we go. All right. Rolling, rolling, rolling. We'll keep Llanowar Wastes in there. So mine, plant, tower. Attempt of Wurmcoil. Nice, it resolves. He'll probably path it, which is fine. Use those paths now, buddy. Alright, so we should be able to Ugin it up. You're going to be upset. Got nothing to Inquisition, buddy. Oh, and he decides to go ahead and end the game. So that wasn't a glamorous play, but that just gives you an idea of how the deck is playing. And I think it plays pretty well. It was actually a lot smoother than I anticipated. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the first of many episodes of Deck Tech Spotlight, where we spotlight a deck that has been built and has been played in other places, and something that we find interesting. So until next time, I bid you farewell.